Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby, thanks for joining us. Wednesday evening here in the UK, just gone 6 o'clock. Where are you? 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 AM Pacific. Thank you for joining us. Hope your Wednesday's going well. We've got our final offering of the day, which is Beautiful Beginnings. That show where, do you know what, we open up the floor to any newbies out there who perhaps in a normal show are a little bit worried about asking questions. Anyone perhaps who's stuck on a particular project, stuck with a particular product. Get in touch, let us know over the course of this show what your question might be, and then towards the end, around sort of 20 to 8, that sort of time, we take our seats in Essentials Corner and we get all of those questions answered for you. And listen, it can be questions about anything we've got on the show, anything that you're stuck with. If you've got questions you want to fire at me, you can. If you've got questions that you want to ask about Michelle, you can. Nothing is off the table. I mean, are we good with that, Michelle?
Now.
We good with that?
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I am. I'm what's known as an oversharer.
A what?
An oversharer.
Right.
So, you know, when someone says, are you having a good day? I'm like, yes. And 20 minutes later, I'm telling you about all my ailments, how my knee creaks when I'm going down the stairs. All of that. Nothing of which you asked about, but I'm telling you anyway.
Yeah, so you are going to get that. My ankles click when I go up the stairs. Isn't that funny?
My knee grates.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it grates a little bit.
Does it hurt?
No. Oh. Sometimes I have achy knees. It's old age. But no, it's amusing to say to my daughter, listen to my knee, and I'll wiggle my knee, and she's like, oh, stop it.
It comes to us all, you know, as you get older. Things kind of, my ankles have always cracked. My knees now, sometimes if I'm sat down for too long and I get up, my knees go like that. And my shoulders as well, sometimes. Like my shoulders. Yes. Let us know.
What part of your body cracks when you get up?
Which part of your body can you make a noise with? Be careful. Be careful on that one. You know what I meant. Oh, no, God. You know. You know what I meant. Oh. Susie! Susie! She's just put 3 trumpets on my page. Right. Hello and welcome to all of you who joined us. Susie is on the socials tonight, not helping matters. And already joining in is Ben Mccarthy. So good evening, everyone. Johnny had a cookie part 2, apparently.
Part 2.
And he did ask permission. I thought those cookies were for me. So in the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, who told you you could eat my cookies? I've only had one. I've been a very good boy.
Have you?
Yeah. Still a few left, which is good. That'd be good for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is the tin staying here, or are you taking it back to there?
Oh no, if I take them back to the house, I'll want to eat them. So I have to leave them here.
Yeah. They are tasty, tasty cookies, Ben. Got to tell you. I could probably eat about 3, but mustn't. Cheryl joins us from Seaward, Alaska. Is everyone ready for Santa Claus, says Cheryl. I think so. I think we're just, are we ready? Are we ready? Are you guys ready for Santa Claus in the gallery? Oh, James says no. Johnny's got to do some rapping. Yeah.
With Jay-Z?
Yeah. Imagine Johnny, backward baseball cap on. Maybe we'll get that added into the, I was going to say the Christmas show actually, Johnny. You could be our surprise guest. Please welcome Johnny Mason. Christmas rapping. My name is Johnny. I am a producer. When I'm being good, I use my juicer. Diane, where are we going with this? Diane says hello to all. Hi. Rosalind Russell says back for round 3 from Maryland. Hi. Thank you for coming back. You might not after this. Jane Adams says hi again, everyone from Las Vegas. Oh, and Kendall's already got a question for Michelle. I don't know if we save this for later on. Are you going to be with us for the whole show, Kendall? Let us know. I might save it. We want to save up the questions, as many as we can, for Essentials Corner later on. Right, let's get into the show. We're going to be looking at over the course of the show. What have you got demos on, just to ask you, so I don't start talking about stuff that you don't have demos on?
So I have got those beautiful 3D embossing folders with the dies. We've got vintage rose, and I have also got, those everyday nesting border dies.
Oh yes, they're super duper interchangeable, those as well. Well, let's get cracking then. Fire the questions in and we'll stock them up for later, and just chat to us. We'd love that tonight. Give us a bit of chat. These are incredible, the 4x6 3D embossing folders and dies. Very popular earlier on, actually. We had a little bit of a sneaky peek at these on Wake Up Call earlier, and they are beautiful. £90, $101 worth of product that you're picking up for £56 if you're platinum, or $64. These are brilliant for the fact that you've got, I think, some of the most detailed 3D embossing folders that we've done. They're 4x6 in size, so really good size for your cards. And then you've also got the dies, which will cut out the intricate detail that you're going to have embossed. So when you use together, you can sort of create 3D aspects to your projects. When you use them individually, again, you can still create some fantastic toppers for your projects. If you just want to use the embossing folder on your own, of course you can do that, but they work together absolutely perfectly. It's such a great idea. And listen, again, we give you so many different scenes for all sorts of different occasions. So you've got that beautiful coral reef in there. If you've picked up any of the great deals that we've had recently on the Bohemian Dreams collection, this one will work wonderfully, because again, it's full of those florals and your dream catchers and feathers. And again, you've got that beautiful detailed embossing folder 3D with the die to be able to work with it. I think this is my favorite in the set. It's called the Floral Bouquet. Wait till you see. I know if you've got any of our embossing folders, the 3D embossing folders, you'll already appreciate just how deep the emboss is, but I think these almost take it to the next level, and this one here is a great illustration of just how deep that emboss is. Once again, you get the die to be able to cut out the main image. There's tons in here. This is the Wildflower Meadow. So again, if you picked up that deal on the Wildflower collection that we had yesterday, a great embossing folder and die set to pair alongside that. You've got butterflies and blooms as well, which is another one I know will be super popular. If you want to pick these up as individuals, you can also do that too. The best value for money deal, though, is to go for the full collection. I believe, lost my notes, messing around too much. I believe this is the best ever price. It is, yeah, best ever price on these, and you can pick them up individually should you so wish. Go back to Wake Up Call this morning, actually, and you'll see a great demo. In fact, that was the demo of the show, so you will see it later on when we do the vote on that beautiful woodland foliage collection. Hi to Eleanor Fleck, who's joined us from Pennsylvania. Zoe Carver says, evening. Marianne Rosie's in, saying good morning from Edmonton. Hi also to Phil Watson, evening. Hello to Barbara R from Indiana, and Susan, who says, good evening, Ben, Michelle. It's lovely to see you both, and a hello to all the team. And Crafters TV from a cold, dark southeast UK. Sheila says, well, Ben, you started it now, lol. We've got some... Barbara R, my spine cracks.
Ooh.
Talking about things that... Anne says, I know what you mean. I remember when I could stand up without sound effects. And Susie, I think, is this from you? Yeah. I'm like Rice Krispies, snapping, crackling, and popping. It's you that, like, I don't know if you're the same at home as well, but I make that, and then when you get up, you just go, oh, you get out of the car, you're like, oh, making those noises. But let us know anyway, just for a bit of fun. Can't believe we're getting comments on that. This is amazing. I love you guys. Let's have a look at this collection. So you worked with the woodland foliage earlier on. Which of the embossing folders and dies are you going to show us tonight, Michelle?
The Floral Bouquet.
Okay.
It's just a very, very pretty embossing folder.
Yeah.
And again, it's our 3D embossing folder, so you know that they're really super deep dish, is what I like to say. They're
deep
very,
dish,
yeah,
yes.
They're a deep dish. I'm going to say border then. They're not. They're a deep dish embossing folder. So I've got a piece of my card already cut down to size to fit into there. So we're going to pop it in. And because it's that 3D embossing folder, your plate combination is going to be your outside plate on the bottom,
yeah,
your embossing folder and your card, and then you've got your magnetic shim and your plastic shim. Now, some people just use the plastic shim on top. Have a play about with your machine, see which you like. If if with just the plastic shim it doesn't give you a nice deep emboss, then add your magnetic. If you've added your magnetic and it's gone too deep, so maybe your card is cracking a little bit, again, have a play about, remove your magnetic shim, but then add in a piece of card as a shim, so obviously it's a little bit thinner, until you sort of get the right combination. But for all intents and purposes, those 3 plates are going to be your best combination for a 3D. So let's turn that round and open that up.
And there you go. Straight away, that's what we said earlier, wasn't it? How amazing does that look already?
Look at that. And that's just in that white card.
Incredible.
Absolutely. Yeah. One pass through. I've got no cracking or anything. And actually, your deboss side is just as lovely. So I'm not going to use the die for this one. We're just going to use the embossing folder. Now, I was going to colour this in, but then I thought it's a beautiful beginning show, and colouring can be quite technically advanced. So I thought the simplest way to show you how beautiful these colour up is to use my aqua pens. It's definitely a beginner pen for me, your aqua pen, because you're using it with water, like watercolouring.
Yeah.
It's so forgiving, it's so easy to put down, and even with your watercolouring, it makes these look absolutely stunning. Because what you've got on here, you've got, because it's a 3D and you've got all those multi-layers of emboss, right in sort of where all the petals meet each other, you've got all those sort of those lines which you're going to be able to follow with sort of your dark and light shades. Makes it very, very easy to colour in. So I've picked 4 of my aquas. I've got my gold, I've got blossom, meadow and rose pink. Now I just picked 4 random colours because I want them to tie in with this. So I'm using that vintage rose paper. It's almost like a salmon pink, isn't it?
It is.
And that beautiful pattern paper on the front. So these 4 colours that I'm going to use are going to tie in and work lovely together. So we were talking about this pointy end before.
Oh yeah, the
pointy end,
fine nib.
sort of your fine nib. So this is actually going to work beautifully. So right in here, right next to that middle bit, sort of up those lines that are on there, just follow them with your pen, with that real fine nib. And then sort of there, where you can see, actually you can see such a deep emboss that you can follow it absolutely perfectly. Look at that. So just going round all those little knocks and crannies.
Oh yes, we know what you mean.
You know what I mean. There we go, just following those all.
Nice to see this end of the pen being used actually, because we don't see it that often. As I said to you earlier on, we're normally just taking the colour down to a mat or to the glass mat and just using it as like a palette, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. But and again, you know, you can lay this down, come back to it in an hour, and you're still going to be able to manipulate it with your water. It's not going to dry out to a point where actually you can't use it. So I'm going to bring in one of my finer brushes, and I've got my lid on, and then you're just going to go over the lines that you've drawn in, and you're going to pull that colour out. And you can blend that line out as much as you want, or leave it quite bold if you want. So just colouring or painting.
Is that your tip for maybe new colourists to start with your watercolours as opposed to like your alcohol markers? Yeah,
definitely. If you want to buy some of our pens and you're not sure which to go for, and you are a beginner, for me, this is what I would suggest to use. It's so forgiving, it's so easy to use, and you get such amazing results when you've finished. So...
Nice thing about this set as well, talking to beginners, with the size of the embossing folders and the dies, these will go through your MIDI, won't they?
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Again, if you're looking to maybe get started into your die cutting and embossing journey, you can pick up a Gemini MIDI, or he says if they're still in stock. But they're a nice machine to sort of start working with that you don't have to spend a fortune on. Once again, you know, if you just want to start off die cutting and embossing, pick your MIDI up, have a bit of a play with these, and you can still create these same results.
Definitely. So I've just gone in with the other end of the pen on the gold, and just put some few little dots in there, and then you're going to blend that out. And the good thing about this is, if sort of this dries and you think, actually, my lines are still too bold, I want to blend them out a little bit more, you absolutely can, because what you're going to do is you're going to get that same pen, and did I use the rose? Let me just double check. Let me get a scrap piece of card. I used this one, didn't I? It's because I've got two pinks. I can't quite remember which one I used.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're looking at it and you think, actually, some of them lines are a bit too bold. I'm not quite happy with it. Bring in your brush nib and go over some of those lines. And because I'm going onto water, it's still a little bit wet, it's going to instantly start blending out, sort of start bleeding. In the nicest sense of that word.
Yeah.
And then you can sort of soften. Is it soften or soften?
I think it's soften.
Soften.
Is it often or often? I think it's often. You say often or often?
Often.
Ah, often. How often do you say soften? Or soften? Soften.
Well, in
soften.
the show now, quite
Softener.
a lot.
Yeah, because you got to buy softener, don't you? You don't go out and buy softener.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep repeating that word to myself in various different ways
Softener.
to see which way sounds a lot better.
Softener, softener. Softener. And whilst we're watching you, we can say hello to Kirsty D, who's joined us, saying hello from her, and also from Freya the cat. She keeps judging the phone whilst I type, or nudging the phone whilst you type, yeah. Molly tends to do that. Molly, my colleague, whenever I'm trying to like make notes and stuff first thing in the morning, she'll always like jump up and start like getting in your face. So you don't do this any other time apart from when I'm trying to do some work. Hi all to Teresa, who's joined us, and Elizabeth Red and Christine Mahoney. Kendall says I'm going to be watching the whole show, so we will answer your question in Essentials Corner later on. Sue Benson joins us. From Yellowstone County. Alicia Gordon says, greetings from Arkansas. Her sketch pack is on the way. We'll be looking at that a little bit later on for you as well. And Zoe Carver says, I don't creak when I go up and down the stairs, but that's only because I live in a bungalow.
It's like a Ben joke, that one.
That is like a Ben joke. Marianne Rosie, I don't creak, but I do get stiff if I sit too long. I know that feeling as well.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I don't think that you and I aren't even that old. So we're getting all of these creaks and pains at this age. Just think what we'll be like when we're 40. I heard that laugh, James, in my ear. We're the same age, aren't we? We always have this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I think you're a year younger than me, aren't you?
Don't know. How old are you?
38.
I'm 37. 45 next year. 40,
Are you really?
40 blooming 5 next year.
I've just gone 46. It's disgusting.
Oh yeah, when was yours?
September.
Oh yeah. How does this? I know I don't look at everyone at home. I know what you say. You will probably type in now. 45. I can only be 45. Hey, that's about 25. Johnny's got a big one next year as well.
Oh, I'm going to say 30 then.
50. 30 for Johnny?
Yeah.
Should have got the Specsavers. Looks like Les Dennis. Oh dear. If you're following Craig and me over on Instagram and our socials, you might just see a little picture of producer Johnny cropping up in the little game that we're currently playing, our own version of Elf on the Shelf. You were in a well the other day.
I was in a well. That's been so funny. Oh, I'm pretty sure there's many people would have loved to at some point shoved me down a well.
I'm sure that's not the truth.
You went, I'm sure.
I'm sure that's not the truth. Well, not me anyway, Michelle. No.
No.
Oh dear.
So you can see that all I'm doing, and I'll tell you why mine isn't blending out brilliantly, is because I've used my colouring card. rather than my watercolour card.
Yeah.
Because I said, didn't I, that I was going to colour them in. But actually, it doesn't really matter as long as you don't saturate where you are sort of colouring in. And again, if you feel you need to, if you've accidentally done it like me on the wrong card, you can still save it. You just need to be a lot more careful. Make sure that when you've put a bit of water down, make sure it dries, because you're not going to be able to go over and over and pull it out and blend it like you would on your watercolour card. So I think I'm going to leave it at that, because I am going to bring in the one that I coloured in. And I'm just thinking time-wise as well. I have got one. Oh, it's here. So I'll also show you the colours that I used as well.
Oh, wow.
But you can see the totally different effect you get just from watercolouring and then from colouring in.
How long would it take you to do something like that in full?
That took me about an hour and a half, something roughly, but I didn't rush it. I just enjoyed the process.
Yeah.
So the colours that I used is my bright pink, my gold yellow, the dull green and the pale pink. And the only thing really that I've done different is I've used the pale pink towards the end, I've used the darker one on the middle bits, and again you see how I followed the emboss round like I showed you to do on this one. That's the only thing I've done different, and again obviously colours and things like that, but again picking the colours that was going to tie in with this, and again so that's from the Vintage Rose.
Yeah.
So we will pop this down.
We've got the Vintage Rose collection coming up in a bit. We don't have the papers, but we do have the vellum, which would work just as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I always say if you've got vellum and you're not sure what to do with it, do exactly the same as you would with your paper pad.
Yeah.
So for instance, I've used paper on this, but it's going to look just as beautiful if I use the textured cardstock and then vellum.
Because that way you're going to get more of a muted look on the design of the vellum, but you'll get the colour coming through from the linen, won't you? So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still going to look absolutely gorgeous. I think we're more fearful of vellum because we worry what glue to use with it rather than anything. So
I think we overcomplicate the use of vellum, don't we?
I think we do, definitely.
Not like, but I think people in their own minds get a bit too. They get tied in knots over it. And I like your example. Just if you're not sure, use it how you'd use your papers. And you're good to go, aren't you? Yeah,
definitely. Definitely. It always looks good. You know, when we do a dome front card and we use acetate, don't use your acetate, use some vellum instead. It gives you a totally different look, but still looks absolutely gorgeous. So just a half fold card.
Yeah.
All in all, it's just an A4 piece of card that I've folded in half or scored in half, and then I've scored the front in half again. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to glue this side, and then we're just going to pop it on the bottom.
Nice.
Front. I'm going to pop it on the front.
It's a really lovely project, and again I think it's fitting in really nicely with that whole sort of beautiful beginnings ethos, isn't it? Again, nothing too complicated here. Obviously you fast forwarded a bit with the colouring, but hopefully everything very achievable if you are fairly new to card making. And what a beautiful card it's going to make.
So, I mean, the thing is, again, I was saying I used the wrong card, but actually, once it starts to dry, you can see it blends out actually quite nice. I was quite careful with the amount of water I was putting on. But if you're using your watercolour card, you're going to have a totally different effect. But if I just pop that on there, you can see that even the colours from the water or the aqua pens, they're still going to tie in absolutely lovely. And it's sort of the same concept. I used round, I mean, the emboss is so high that it's so easy to just follow around all your petals with your ink and then drag it out.
Yeah.
So, and then I have got a congratulations. Which I'm going to peel off very carefully. I keep saying I'm going to stop using my Xyron machine because it takes me forever to peel it off.
You're going to stop using it?
Yeah, for on air, because you can guarantee that when I'm trying to peel it off on air, it takes me forever.
Sounds like me back along when I did a few craft alongs with you guys, and it guaranteed it would always be with red liner tape. That stuff was my enemy. I mean, brilliant stuff for, you know, sticking, but could I ever get the backs off? Even if I did do the whole burnish thing, you can guarantee I'd be there for about half an hour after the show still trying to peel off them.
Yeah. We
Use
all
a
have a
pokey tool.
nemesis. There we go. So I've got that lovely, just congratulations there. And I've done it in the white because it almost blends into the background. It almost looks part of the pattern. Sometimes sentiment doesn't need to be bold. It doesn't need to stand out. Sometimes it looks just as lovely if it's almost part of that background.
Absolutely brilliant. That.
Thank you very much.
Very, very nice indeed. Thank you for all the lovely comments coming through as well. I'm loving the card, Michelle, says Teresa. Evening to Stephen, he says, good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I'm a bit late. You want to reach my age in 63 next year. You want to reach my age at 60? What? 63? Never.
Who's 63?
Stephen, you want to reach my age? Oh, I'm 63 next year. Oh. Stephen. Never. Susan says, that's great, Michelle, for the vellum and dome front. I'm trying out the Bella Luna vellum. It's very dark, so that might help, or some mirror card behind. And also hi to Hillary, who says, hello, everyone. Holly Collie always wants attention when I'm busy. They're all the same, aren't they? Particularly those collies. Did you guys see that video I put up on my Instagram as well, by the way, of Molly Collie dropping all of the toys? Like I said, she does every single night.
I saw that. She's so cute.
Yeah, that was a small amount as well that night. Only 3 items she dropped. It can be 5, 6, 7, the whole like toy basket. She just keeps going and going and going. Bless her little paws. Listen, great demo there. If you love this collection, go back and watch Wake Up Call this morning as well, and you'll see the demo that Michelle did with the woodland foliage here too. Such a versatile set. The 3D embossing folders are out of this world, and then how clever that we've incorporated the die to be able to cut out the kind of main image of the embossing folders. So again, you've got a brilliant way to be able to use these as toppers. Just use that embossing folder on its own, use them in conjunction with each other to create kind of like even more sort of 3D layered effects on each and every one of those. That is the woodland foliage, but you've got tons in here. You've got that beautiful butterflies and blooms, all of these available individually as well if you want to go down that route. But as you said, the best way to grab these is to get them in the bundle because they are the best ever price we've done them for. Wildflower Meadow, again, so much to love about that set. You know, if you're using this die cut, as I said, if you picked up the Wildflower selection that we had on yesterday with the individual dies for the wildflowers, again, you can create some really beautiful projects by adding more of those die cut wildflowers to that. There's that beautiful rose, the floral bouquet, which is just absolutely stunning, which you've just seen Michelle using in that last demonstration. There's the Boho Dreams, Bohemian Dreams, if you want to go for that one individually. And then we've got the set, which is all about going under the sea, the Coral Reef. Again, beautiful, deep emboss you're going to get with that 3D folder and the dies to go with as well. And size-wise, 4x6. £56 or $64. Very pretty, says Jane Adams. Susan says that the colouring looks beautiful, almost too good to be true. And yes, thank you, Susie. Says you have to teach Molly to put them back into the basket after you have a play. New phrase, in the basket. Yeah, they are very clever, collies, almost sometimes too clever. She outsmarts me sometimes. I know what you're going to say. That's not hard. Never. Huh? Never. I know what you were thinking. I'll get in there before someone types it. I know what you like. Hero Tool tonight. Quick one on this. Our foam pads. 3D, large foam pads. You're getting 20 sheets in here, but these are sort of different sizes. I think someone has been in here. Different sizes, some of the smaller ones, some of the slightly larger ones. But the great thing is you've got tons and tons of foam pads in here that if you want to snip them a little bit smaller, you can. If you want to double layer them up, of course you can, because you've got that double-sided stick with these. But so good for those 3D projects, and you get tons. These are the kind of things, aren't they? Whether you are more sort of team foam pad or if you're team chunky glue, 3D Floral glue. They're the kind of sort of things that you don't want to run out of in your craft room. And when we've got them on a deal like this, saving 20%, less your Club Inspire discount, it's a great opportunity to jump in and pick up that set. So £10.87 or $12.79 if you're a Platinum member. 24-hour only deal on that though with the Hero tool, because that's the way we roll. Next, Vintage Rose, and this is quite nice actually that we're doing this following on from the 3D embossing folders, because as you will have noted, Michelle was using the papers from that collection in that last demo. And whilst I can't offer you the papers from that set, I can offer you a huge bundle of goodies for a smash down price. And how many have we got left, Johnny? Less than 50 of these now remaining. Such a gorgeous collection was this, and you've got, well, a lot of the hardware and actually quite a few of the consumables to go with this too. As far as your hardware is concerned, lots and lots to play with. You've got the vintage textures first of all. So this stamp set, again, if you want to see this in action, go back earlier on to Wake Up Call when Michelle created a really wonderful project with this, using the beautiful textures that you've got here alongside the shimmer ink pads to create some beautiful effects on some papers. By the way, all of the individuals of these are on the website if you want to, again, jump in and grab those with up to 30% off. But you've got those stamps included. Beautiful embossing folder in here as well. That's your 2D Baroque frame. And again, this is one of those frames, whether you're using that portrait, whether you sort of go landscape with that as well, it's one of those frames that I think is just so handy to go across like a whole host of different collections. If you think of all of the collections that we've done where you could use this and it would look brilliant, there'll be lots that come to mind. Something which again I think fits in with the last project we saw from Michelle, this beautiful 3D embossing folder. That is that timeless rose, and once again that beautiful deep emboss through the rose and the leaves, and then you've got the peaks and troughs in here, so you've got kind of areas which stand out more than some of the leaves, which gives that real sort of pop of design. And of course, look at this, really super quick, running that through on your cardstock, adding a little bit of colour. There's your card front straight away. Pop on one of the sentiments that you're going to get in this set, add an embellishment, and you've got a very quick but beautiful card. And then what's nice about the other dies that you've got in here is that you've got the ability to do the die cutting. So the elegant lace border, yep, and you can choose the sort of cardstock that you work with for that, but then we're also popping in the pre-cut elements as well. So with the pretty lace border, we're also going to give you 12 of those pre-cuts. So again, if you're kind of wanting to make a quick card, maybe you're thinking about getting this collection and you are yet to pick up a die cutting machine, maybe that's something you can do later down the line. We've done all of like the pre-cuts for you when it comes to the border, the exquisite lace die as well. Again, beautiful die set, but what we've done within the bundle is we've given you the pre-cut elements once again. So you've got that cut out 24 times. So if you just want a quick card, maybe you don't want to have to run your dies through, you've got all of those pre-cut for you and ready to go. And same again with this background die, which is that beautiful diamond trellis. 2 dies there, so again you can cut straight into your card. You've got the outer die to cut it out as a panel, but we also give you the panels pre-cut once again in that, so you're going to get another, I think there's 12 there, 12 of those beautiful trellises, so you're covered really right across the board there as far as that's concerned. £76 or $92, but we're not done, because on top of all of that we then give you your multi-sheet topper pad, and this is absolutely brilliant. Bang for buck, you're just not going to beat this. You've got a whole selection, 48 pages of different size toppers. You've got tags in here, some of which, as you can see there, if I give that a little wiggle, are beautifully foiled for you. These ones in the back you'll be taking your scissors to, or maybe your trimmer, just to pop out the different tags or the different sentiments that you want to use. As you can see, all different shapes and sizes. Some of these we've sort of left blank for you as well, so you can put your own sentiments onto. If you want to ink onto these as well, you can. But as we get sort of further to the front, you'll see slightly bigger toppers for those cards. Little embellishments that you can pop on as well. More foiling just here, but then as we get to the front of the topper pad, you then have pages upon pages of these die cut elements as well. So you're simply just going to pop these out of your paper and away you go. Some lovely florals that you can make into your own bouquets, do a little bit of decoupaging with. You've got some little tags and tickets in there, and even a few pages of beautiful butterflies, postmarks. I mean, there's loads in there. That is a really, really handy value for money topper pad. Then you're going to get your vellum. So as we were talking about just a few moments ago, if you want to be able to maybe recreate Michelle's make that she just made there, I can't offer you the papers, but I can offer you this beautiful vellum, and it's all the same designs designs, just in that beautiful, more delicate vellum design. By the way, this on its own is proving very, very busy. All of the individual elements you can pick up, but like we said, to get the bang for buck, you want to pick up this collection. So you're getting 24 sheets of that beautiful vellum in there. Adding to that, we're then going to give you 12 sheets of your flower forming foam. Again, all of the colours matching up beautifully with your vellum, matching up beautifully with all of the designs that you've got within your topper pad. And if that wasn't enough for you, call your demand in. You're going to get all of these. All of these. What are these, Johnny? That is the question. You're getting card blanks and envelopes. All of your card blanks and envelopes. There are, let me just double check on that. There are 48 here, so it's 24 cards, 24 envelopes, and you're getting all of those, those 3 fantastic colours in there. Again, matching up perfectly with the vellum, matching up perfectly with the flower forming foam, matching up perfectly with the designs that you've got in your topper pad. Pick a card, any card. £76 or $92 for all of that seems crazy value. It is, because you're saving, what, nearly £44, over $55. That's the way to go if you want the big value. However, like we said, if you do want to pick and choose, you can do as well. All of the items I've just shown you there are available as individual purchases. But let's, before we, I went a bit high there, didn't I? You know that, I thought I got away with that. But we're going to have a look at another quick demo with Michelle on this collection. That's a great deal, isn't it, for all of that?
For all of that, it's like you were saying, I kept thinking, surely they've just put everything in this bundle because there's still so much. But yeah, an amazing deal, amazing bundle, and an amazing collection.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's classic and timeless, I think, isn't it? Definitely. Yeah. So I've picked a few of the elements that I want to use. I've got that, that 2D embossing folder.
Okay.
I've got those acrylic stamps, those vintage textures, and I've got these pre-cut elements here. Again, I think you saw me use those earlier. I inked them up with our gold shimmer ink pads.
Yeah. Gold shimmer. Is that what you were waiting for?
Yes. Yes, definitely.
I'm nothing if predictable. It's not predictable. If predictable.
So this is a 5x7.
Yeah.
I've cut my card down a little bit smaller because what I've done is I've got a box base and it's a little bit smaller than a 5x7, but I still want to use it. So you can still use this embossing folder, even with that smaller piece of card, because all we're going to do is, using the coloured side, I'm going to line it up right in the middle. Now, some of that decorative emboss is going to pop over both sides, top and bottom at the side and at the sides. But as long as you line this up in fact, do you know what? You don't have to. If you want to pop it on a lovely little jaunty angle, absolutely you can do. But what I'm doing is I'm just trying to line this up in the middle of all that embossed detail, and I can really see where I'm going because it's coloured on this side. So let's close that. It's a 2D embossing folder, so what you're going to use for this is your 2 main plates. Okay. So you need that sort of extra depth with a 2D embossing folder. So I always remember it with so if it's 3D, it always says it's 3D embossing folder. Yeah. If it's any other embossing folder, your plate combination is different. So 3D is your main plate and your 2 shims. Every other combination, every other 2D cut and emboss, they're all your 2 main plates. Yeah. So let's open this up. So again, it's a beautiful emboss, and because I've lined it up right in the middle, it doesn't matter that my pattern goes over the edge. Can you see it? There you go. You can see it. Yeah. Look at that. So it doesn't matter because it's still symmetrical. It's still in the middle, so it still makes sense.
I tell you what, as well, for a 2D emboss, that is incredible, isn't it? The emboss on that is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's beautiful, but to make it pop a little bit more, we're going to use a couple of our water reactive ink pads. Okay. So I've picked my fuchsia and my straw bale. Okay, so you use the straw bale and then... And then I'll go back to the fuchsia. I did it right that time. Yes. Oh dear, we're getting them all in. Gold shimmer, back to the fuchsia. What's next, I wonder? So very lightly over the top, we're going to add this lovely straw bale. So just, you have to be very gentle, very delicate, very light-handed. I'm going to ask a question.
because it's Beautiful Beginnings. You're using your square blending tool. It's a rectangle. Any difference? Because people ask this question, any difference or sort of pros and cons between that one and the circular?
I don't think there's any difference. I think it's more what you're comfortable with.
Okay.
These ones are brilliant. So I always use the circle ones, but I've started using these a lot more because I don't know, they're more comfortable for me. They're a little bit bigger. And I just find using these, I don't get sort of the edge mark on here as much as I do with the circle ones.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm quite heavy-handed.
Yeah.
So I find these work a lot better. I think if you're heavy-handed like me, I think you might find you're better off with the square ones. So then we're going to go in with the fuchsia, and I'm just going to go around the edges.
And do you have replacement heads for each colour that you have then as well, or do you try to do that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. So each colour I've got a replacement head for it. And what I've got on mine at home, I have a little hook and loop on the back of here.
Good idea, that.
Peel it off.
And do you, sorry, I'm asking loads of questions now.
That's all right.
Say you've got, this is the fuchsia in the water reactive. If you then say got the fuchsia in the, I can't think of one of the other ones now.
Quick dry.
Quick dry, for example. Do you still use that same head for the fuchsias across the colours?
I do.
Across the different types of ink?
Yeah. So my water reactives and my quick dries, I'll use the same head, but then when it goes to my opaques, I'll have a separate head for those because that's a pigment where this is a dye, so I don't mix those two up.
Good to know. Look at me asking all the great questions tonight. You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome.
So the reason that I've picked the fuchsia and the reason that I've picked the straw bale is when you layer those over, look at that beautiful orange that you get sort of coming through.
Very rhubarb and custard.
I know.
Isn't it?
I know.
I used to love that TV show. Do you remember that one?
Yes. Yes, I do. Right, so what we're going to do now is I've got this again. So you're going to use this all the time, even if it's only for sort of background stamping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my rocker block in because I'm not bothered about full contact. I mean, even though I say that every time I use my rocker block, it gives me full contact.
Yeah.
But when you want to go in sort of with all these sort of backgrounds and the collages and things like that, you don't necessarily need to worry about that.
Christmas hug. Oh, you smell great, by the way.
Thank you.
Great.
You smell great. Craig's done. He's done.
Oh.
Make sure you come back for our Christmas Day show. Didn't he smell great? Go and have a sniff of Craig.
A brilliant Christmas and New Year.
Where are you off to?
You too.
Talking to Michelle's mic.
I'm away to go and see Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm desperate to see it. Favourite film ever. Never seen it in the cinema. There's one show, because I was going home to Scotland tonight.
Yeah.
And then I seen that there was one showing. So I messaged Mum and I said, I'll be home tomorrow.
Yeah.
And see that film. Have a
so
great
jealous.
Christmas
Yes,
and New
you too.
Year. Have a brilliant Christmas and New Year, guys. Johnny, Jimmy as well in the gallery. Have a great time, guys.
See you Christmas
See you
Day.
later.
Christmas Day.
Yeah. Just walk in front of the camera. It's fine. Come on.
I'm lost.
He's had his review. Hashtag unprofesh. Get him out of here. Sorry, yes.
No, that's all right. It was definitely more important to say goodbye to Craig.
Yeah.
So we're just doing a bit of a collage background. Now I'm using my water reactives. Now normally I don't stamp with my water reactives, but when I'm creating a collage background, when I'm not too bothered about a clean, crisp image, you absolutely can go with your water reactives. It adds to that collage effect that you are wanting to sort of create. So you don't need to really worry about that. So you can see it doesn't stamp perfect, but again, that's what the sort of look that we're going for. Sort of that mishmash, that not fully inked up properly sort of look. Let's use that one. This is one of my favourites. I love this one. So this little stamp. So even though I've embossed it already, and even though I've inked it up already, it still is going to work wonderfully with these collage stamps going in with them.
How did you know? That's a really high voice again. How did you know when it comes to the colours? Like, how did you know that those colours would work so well? Does that just come down to experience or what?
I think it is. I think it's just about having a play. If you've got a couple of colours that you really like,
Yeah.
you know, just blend them together, see what that third colour is. Because we know, you know, that it's going to be an orange, but what kind of orange? By the shade. So fuchsia and the straw bale create this one, but if you're going to use your fuchsia and one of your other yellows, it's going to create, again, another totally different colour. So again, it's about sometimes happy little accidents, sometimes you know it's going to just look fabulous.
Yeah.
So let's pop another one of these on.
Okay.
And you can see it's stamped over that embossed bit, absolutely beautiful. So it just works. It just looks gorgeous. So we'll pop that one back on here. And then we'll get one of those, it's so hard to decide. We'll get that little lovely flourish in that corner.
Great set, isn't it? Just for sort of like, I don't know how to describe this, sort of like absent-minded stamping. Just plonking it anywhere.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Because I mean, without, how can I say this in a nice way? You are sort of just popping this in different places rather than, there's not a real plan to this, is there?
There's no rhyme or reason to where I'm going. I'm just popping it all down.
Yeah.
Where I'm sort of.
Sorry, I've just rephrased that.
Right.
As producer Joy just said, sorry, it's Michelle's artistic mind. There is a lot of method behind the madness here. Not just plonking it anywhere. I retract that comment.
Well, you sort of are a little bit, because you're going to pop a stamp down and then you're going to have a look and you're going to think, I'm going to pop this one here or this one's going to go there. So
see, I knew it. She's just plonking it anywhere. I was right.
My first and second generation stamp, again, is always going to look lovely. It's just really about building up all those layers and having a little bit of fun.
And knowing when to stop.
It is knowing when to stop, which is so hard because you just get definitely carried away. She says putting one more stamp on.
Just one more. Thank you, by the way, everyone, for all your lovely messages. I'm sure Craig will read them later. Safe travel, safe trip home, safe travels. He's gone. He's off. Off to the cinema. He's seen about, I think that's his 5th old Christmas film that he's seen at the cinema this year, because they're doing that at a lot of the cinemas here in the UK, replaying the old Christmas movies. So that's his 5th one. He saw Santa Claus the movie the other day, didn't he?
He did.
In 1985.
Yes. That's an old one.
Very old.
Right, so I am done. I've sort of got my little, in that main focal point, I've got my little group of 3 there, which is quite pleasing to the eye. I've got a large one up there, and then just randomly round the outside. You know, you're going to just have a play, see what you like, and just plonk it down.
Yeah. Bob it on.
Just bob it on. I haven't, have I?
I've not heard you say bob it on for ages.
No, I haven't said it. I know Ben said that to me at home the other day.
Yeah.
He said you haven't said that for ages, absolutely ages. So what we're going to do now is, because we've got that lovely inking, and sorry, John is just tormenting me.
Johnny, professionalism, please. Come on.
Because it's sort of that collage look we've gone for, distressing your edges always looks amazing on something like this. So if you've got our little distressing tool, that little circle distressing tool, then use that, the little crimpler. But I'm just going to use my scissors very carefully.
Ooh.
And all you're going to do is just across the edges.
Yeah.
You're just going to ruffle it off.
Why are you using your scissors as opposed to your edge crimpler? Is it because you haven't got one?
I think there is one there, but I find this, for me, because this is the way I always did it.
Yeah.
I just find it more comfortable for me doing it this way.
Does it give a different look?
It doesn't. It looks very much the same. You're just going to keep going until you're happy with the distress.
Yeah.
It does make everyone nervous when I do this with scissors.
Yeah, I don't think we did a form for this before the show, Johnny, did we? Oh, sorry. Anyone from the health and safety firms, we did do a risk assessment. I just wasn't there, as per usual.
And then we're going to put just a little. We're going to extend that rip.
Yeah.
We're going to extend that rip, but then what we're going to do is we're going to bring our ink pad in, and where it's stark white, we're just going to add some ink so it doesn't really pop in your face, and be a little bit rough when you're doing that, because the more it ruffles that rip up, the better. And then I've got a little rip here, so we're going to extend that one. And again, just add some ink on there and be quite rough, because again, we don't want that stark white coming through. So I've got a couple of rips, which I'm very, very happy about.
Yeah.
So now we're going to pop that on there. So just going to use my all-purpose.
And why are you using this glue as opposed to any other?
So if I'm using this, it's because it gives me enough wiggle room time to get it into place. But it's just really the best glue for any uncoated cardstock. So I'm not going to press that down there. We're just going to press around it.
Yeah.
And make sure that they stay up.
I'm glad that you did do little tears in that as well, because if you are doing that distress effect and you do happen to go into your cardstock a little bit too much, I think a little rip and a tear here and there, or I'm a poet, I don't know it, a rip and a tear here and there is actually quite nice, isn't it? It adds to that distress sort of old age effect.
It does, it adds to it, definitely.
Yeah.
So they're all stuck down nice and lovely. Now this edge isn't stuck down, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my pokey tool, or if you've got a pencil, that's going to work just as well. And I'm just going to roll it round it. I'm going to roll it up and round it. And then again, so I've just got like a little curved corner. Again, because I've got that stark white coming through, I'm going to just take the little bit of ink to it, and I'm going to do the same with this. I'm just going to curl that round, and again, add some ink so it's not that stark white.
Oh, yeah.
And again, curling some of your corners up looks really, really good. So then I'm just going to pop this together.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my tape pen for this. So, last one.
And it's nice to see this as well, because, you know, tape pen's great for your construction. I think sometimes people, again, get confused with what adhesives they can use for construction, but the tape pens are obviously strong enough for that, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
Perfect.
definitely. They're a real good strong tape pen. There's some tape pens out there that, they're not very strong at all. Even for some of your mats and layers, there's some tape pens that you can use, and within a day or so, they're just not sticking down. So I've just got my box base here. I'm going to pop that on the top. And then, because again, the black and the white really adds to sort of a distressed effect finish. And then all I'm going to do now, very quickly, is I had one somewhere. Oh, it's here, look. Just these topper pads. You're going to use these all the time. So I'm going to find one that's going to fit through the middle. That long one's going to fit beautifully. So you are very much appreciated. So we're just going to trim that out. But again, it's definitely not going to fit colour-wise. So then we'll just take some of the inks that we've been using to this. You could distress the edges as well if you wanted to tie it in. But again, I'm not going to add any more ink to these. I'm just going to run it over.
Yeah.
There. And it's just going to take that pink away. Let's pop it on there. Where's my... And again, because it's distressed, I think when you stick something down flat on something that's distressed, it doesn't match. So I think when you can sort of curve it a little bit, add a little bit of dimension to it, and pop that just on there across the middle. So I've got I'm going to use my hot glue gun for this. So where that's meeting my card and where that end is meeting my card, they're the two bits that we're going to pop a little bit of hot glue on. Pop that on there. Push them together for as much height or as little height, for as much height as you want.
Yeah.
And then I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to turn that round for you and stand that up, and just with that 2D, but that's a 2D embossing folder, and look how amazing it looks.
Absolutely blooming brilliant. I tell you what, it's been a day today, isn't it? It has been a day today. If you want to pick up the Vintage Rose collection, £76 or $92. If you just want individual items from that, maybe you want to stock up on some of the consumables that we've got left, then you can pick those up as individual items too, with up to 30% off. We're going to have a little break, I think. Don't forget to fire in those questions. Any questions you want for Essentials Corner, anything craft related, anything Michelle or Ben related, anything you want to know basically for our little chit chat segment at the end of the show. But in the meantime, get to the checkouts and we'll come back in about 3 or 4 minutes.
There once was a man who was very crafty. His name was Craig from Carnoustie. He joined the team on Crafters TV. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. He wanted to prove he was the man, but he lost at Craft Wars to Leanne. But 2 weeks later he beat Jan. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. He did so well on Crafters TV, Sarah sent him off to Germany, where he did some work for QVC. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. His crafting skills, they aren't half bad. In fact, I'd say they're totally rad. That's mainly down to his favourite foam pads. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. The crafters, they loved him a lotty for his charm and skill. They went quite potty, they nicknamed him the Hardy Scotty. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live. In the crafting world, he's standing tall. He's the best Scottish crafter of them all. Catch him Monday to Friday on his wake-up call. Oh, crafty Scottish man craft. Soon may the crafty man come to bring us demos and inspiration. Each day when his crafting is done, he might do a Facebook Live.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get social with us. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, on your TV or tablet, you can get so close to the action, it's like you're in the studio with us. You can ask questions about products or crafty techniques. Get hints and tips from our expert demonstrators. Plus, share pictures of your crafty makes with our amazing community. Crafters TV, getting you closer to the crafty action.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out your baskets and your carts. Welcome to Beautiful Beginnings if you've just joined us. We've got some questions stored up already for later on in the show. So around about 40 minutes or so, we will be taking those questions, answering those questions. Any more you want to fire in, send them through and we'll get through as many as we can. We did about I think 10 or so last week with Sheena, so let's see if we can get as many as we can in, and we'll do our very best to answer all of those questions for you. And don't forget as well, we have got another demo for you very shortly, but our winter sale does continue for you as well. That through right until I think it's the 2nd of January. Some great deals online right now. Obviously, you can get all of the items on this show simply by hitting the Shop the Show or Shop the Day button. But whilst you are on the website, definitely worth checking out that winter sale. And also, after Christmas, if you've got a few Christmas spends, do make sure that you come back because there are some absolute steals there. And I know with it continuing for the next sort of week and a half or so, new items will be added all the time. So just head to the website and all you need to do to find all the deals is just click on the winter sale page. If you have just joined us though, a very warm welcome to Beautiful Beginnings, that show in the week where we try and take things back to basics just a little bit for you. If you have any questions, you can fire them in. And do you know what, as I've been trying to do so in this show as well, I'll try and ask more of those sort of back to basics questions for you as well. So anything you want to ask, fire it in and we will help you along the way. Been some brilliant demos so far. Of course, we will have to do the vote for the demo of the show and the vote for the demo of the day too. I can guarantee a Michelle win today. Hi to Samantha Cheney who's joined us. Also hi to Susan Griffiths, Jane Adams and Hannah Law. Rosalind also with us too. Lovely to have so many of you with us as we head towards Christmas. Let's look at these everyday border nesting dies. These are fantastic. Some of the most versatile die sets I think that we've done in recent memory. Normally £78, normally $90. The saving today is $17.94 or $19.70. Look at that platinum price, £48 or $56. These as well, actually, I think you can pick these up. Yeah, if you want to go individually on these, you can mix and match them around just a little bit. But I think if you can go for the full collection, A, you're making the biggest saving, and B, you've got the best then when it comes to the sort of the fact that these interchange so well. So if I just show you on this one, for example, the kaleidoscope of butterflies, with each of the sets that you've got the 2 detail dies, and then you've got those inner sort of frame dies as well. So you've got so many different ways to be able to use them. If you just want a beautiful matte layer with a decorative frame edge, you can do that. If you just want a beautiful detailed inner die cut with the butterflies on, you can do that. If you want to have the beautiful detailed edge with that beautiful detail in the center, you can as 2 separate dies. If you want to combine that into 2 and have a beautiful detailed frame with a beautiful detail inside but with a thicker border, you can. If you want it with a thinner border, you can do that. If you just want to use the non-detailed dies to cut you different size mats and layers, you can do that. I think we counted on the other boards, there's something like 13 sort of different combinations that you can get from one set, and then when you start adding in the other components, like the possibilities are almost endless. And what I mean by that, for example, so you've got your kaleidoscope of butterflies there, but you then may decide, well, I love the outer frame of the butterflies, but I want the roses on the inside. Well, you've got the ability to be able to do that because they all fit within each other really nicely. This one I think is a beautiful one to colour. Loads of opportunity to do some paper piecing with as well. Valentine's will be next Wednesday after Christmas and New Year, so you've got that beautiful Amore. Again, loads and loads of beautiful intricate designs there for you to be having a bit of a play with. Add to that, we give you the Regency swirls. You're also going to get the, what's that one called? Entwined vines. And then lastly in this set, another one which I think will paper piece and colour very nicely indeed, which is your seasoned leaves. So like I said, if you're on a bit of a smaller budget and you like the idea of these, you can go individually, but if you want to go for the sort of best price, then go for the full collection at £48 or $56. And then you've got the interchangeability of all of these as well. Great demo earlier on with these over on Wake Up Call, and we will have another one to add to that list of great demos just now. Which one are you going to be working with?
Amore.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's Amore.
I can only apologise every time I sing, but the more I get to know you guys,
yeah,
the more that I sing in front of you. So,
and isn't that a nice feeling for everybody?
I feel like no one judged me for my, what is it, tone deaf singing.
I think you're better than you give yourself credit for. But I know what you mean. Is that you with your singing, you're happy to sing here because no one judges. It's like when I come here and do the jokes. Nobody. Well, not many people judge, and I get more of a laugh here than I do at home.
Yes. I laugh at my jokes more than anyone else does, so, you know, I find myself hilarious sometimes.
I find you hilarious.
But yes, the Amore one, again, it's just another beautiful one from this collection. You've got those 4 dies, you've got that outside die, which is beautifully decorative. You've got those 2 mats and layers. This one is going to go in here if you want to create the aperture. But this one goes round here to cut that out. So this one will automatically cut that aperture in the middle, but will stay in whatever piece of card you're using. If you use that die with that one, it cuts that out and you've got a topper. So I love the fact that this one sits inside to create an aperture, this one sits outside to create an extra element. So just all the mixing and matching of these is just absolutely fabulous. So we're going to pop these through. I've got some beautiful purple card here. I'm not sure where I got this purple from. Did I get it from? I haven't wrote it down. I've started, the 12 by 12 rainbow pad.
Oh, okay.
I've started writing everything down because you think to yourself when you're at home, well, I'm going to remember where I've got it from.
By the time you get in.
But by the time you get
No
here,
idea.
yeah, I totally forgot. So we're going to run both these through because I want to create that aperture in the middle. So I'm just lining that up and we're going to tape it in place.
That rainbow pad, I think, is still in stock as well, if you wanted to grab that.
Is it?
It certainly was at the back end of last week.
And then we will pop that through there. I'm not going to use the smaller... Yes, I am going to use the smaller one on this one. Changed my mind.
You're going to do what?
I wasn't going to use the smaller one, and then I am going to use the smaller one.
I see.
So let's pop that out. There you go. So look how
the detail
beautiful
there, though, in that
it
frame.
absolutely cuts.
Love it. Oh, and you've got the little bits and pieces again that you can save there.
I've got lots of bits for Vern.
You just,
Is it Vernon?
Yeah, he's there, look, he's watching.
I know he is.
It's like a coiled spring ready to vacuum up all those bits.
There we go. Right, I'm going to use him.
I don't think, unless anyone else has as well, just to show you how long these days charge, I don't think we've charged him yet.
I don't think we are.
Since I don't think he's had a charge.
No.
He goes on a long time and he picks up some decent bits there as well. Good lad, Vernon.
There was some big bits. I mean, that big heart out of the middle, he picked that up. Absolutely no problem.
Yeah.
Right, so what this piece of card is, just a normal piece of card, and I've done a colour wash on it. And all I mean by colour wash is I've used my Frosty Mint, so my Duet ink pad. I popped some of my Frosty ink down, picked it up with a wet paintbrush and just washed it across. And that's literally all I've done with that. So again, I'm going to pop that on there, and we're going to pop this one inside as well. So we're going to run these two through together.
Yeah. I like your idea, Zoe. You're saying you could use these middle dies and make a fancy deck of playing cards.
Yes.
Absolutely you could.
Yes, of course you could.
That's a really fun idea, actually.
What a brilliant idea.
Print off pictures of family members and make your own little playing cards.
Oh, that'd make an amazing Christmas present for like the grandparents with all the grandkids on. Even though they'd all argue about who's the king and who's the queen and who's the jack.
Quick question, sensible question. Thank you, Kendall, for this. And I'm asking now because you're doing what she's asking the question about. Oh, before you go and put it through. How do you go about lining those up when cutting it out of the card? Do you just by eye it?
I just by eye.
Yeah?
Yeah, just by eye. You can pretty much judge it by eye, definitely. And again, that's just something I think just comes with a little bit of practice.
Yeah.
But a little bit of patience.
But always good to tape in this instance as well, isn't it?
If I'm putting more than one die, if I need them to stay where I want them to be, I'm always going to tape them down, always.
Yeah.
But I think as long as you take your time when you're lining those two up, you're going to get it bob on every time. Ding! Right, so let's get all that tape off. So very carefully, because it is our low tack, high tack tape. just the pressure of the Gemini can make it stick quite firmly. So all you're going to do is you're going to lift your edge up and you're just going to pull it right back.
Roll it.
On itself. You're just going to roll it off. And that way, I think every single time it's going to come off absolutely
And you can
perfect.
de-tack it a bit as well, can't you, before you stick it down on your
Yeah,
jumper?
you can. So when you've taken it off your roll, well, not on your hairy arm, but you know, on your jumper, take a bit of that tack off.
Whose hairy arm?
Well, not mine.
Ah. I got a bit of a complex about my arms after Sarah the other day said I got really hairy arms.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I went to school, one of my best mates, and she's going to kill me. She's probably not
Don't
watching.
name her then, for goodness sake.
I would never name you Rachel, ever.
Oh.
But she's got really dark hair. And so she's got really dark arm hair. And as we were growing up, you know, you get to that age where you're really conscious of it.
Yeah.
And she got to that age where she was really conscious of it. So she shaved her arms.
Right.
And then it grew through all stubbly. So for weeks, every time you sort of went near her, she grated to you like Velcro. So she definitely had really hairy arms.
Is she still your friend now?
Well, maybe not now.
I was going to say. Sorry about that, Rachel.
So I've got that lovely, that washed piece there. I've got the purple piece there. So now is the time that you could bring in one of your other ink pads if you wanted to and add a little bit of, especially this piece that we've got that duet ink pad on because it's nice and chalky.
Yeah.
So just with that soft heather, just really on those edges. I don't want to go too much further in because it is a totally different colour to what I've used, but I want it to stand out from that purple. So I'm going to use just a different colour. So I'm just going to tickle those edges with it. And then I'm going to do the same just on the inside, just around the edges, just adding just a little bit of ink. And because I've got that green wash on there, it's not going to be like the soft heather. It's going to sort of soften it down a little bit. So let's pop that to the side. So, oh, I'm making such a mess. We're going to bring this in. We're just going to create a nice easel card. So it's a 6x6. So it's 6x12 to start with. You're going to score it in half, and then I'm going to put another score line there as well. It's going to create my easel.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to bring this in. These two pieces I've embossed. I've used the Wild at Heart 6x6 embossing folder for these two. And again, I did exactly the same as what you saw me do with this. I give it a wash with that, what did I say? Frosty mint.
Yeah.
And then just inked over the top with the frosty mint in the middle and then the sugar plum on each side. So we're just going to stick that one down to this, this cardstock. And because this cardstock is pearlescent, it means it's got a coating.
Yes.
So if it's got a coating, you're going to want to swap to your tacky glue.
Tacky glue, yeah.
Which is what I've got in here. And you don't need a lot.
No.
But it is water-based, so if you put a lot on, it's going to warp your card. But the beautiful thing about it is you don't need a lot. This tiniest amount for this. Hence why we can use it in that pin top bottle, because we don't need a lot.
So anything with like a coating is tacky glue, and also like if you're sticking embellishments and things like that, it's quite good for that, isn't it?
Yes,
tacky glue?
yeah, it is. It's a real good, strong glue. And the reason it works beautifully on a coated cardstock is because it's water-based, and what happens is it's going to soak through that coating on the top of your card. So if it's glitter coating or pearlescent, your other glue is going to sit on top of it because it's alcohol-based. But your tacky glue is going to soak through and it's going to grab your card rather than sitting on top and just grabbing that coating. Hence why you're going to use that, because it's going to give you a stick that's not going to move, it's not going to go anywhere. So let's pop this one in the middle. And again, I think you can see a little bit more better on there just how little that you need to use.
Yeah.
So let's pop that in there.
What is your embossing folder, is that, did you say?
So it's the Wild at Heart, the 6x6 one.
Of course it is.
And then I do have, is it here? Yes. So again, I've took a 6x6 piece of card because we're just going to pop that straight over the top, and that's what's going to give us our easel. This is going to go on here. So again, let's use that tacky glue all around the edges. And then pop it there.
Guys in the gallery are enjoying the noises. Bit of, what do they call it? ASMR.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So what you're going to do to stick this in, you're going to glue this half of the card. So you can see it's folded in half. You're going to glue that half, because if you attempt to try and just glue halfway up there, you're not necessarily going to get it exactly where you need it to be. So as long as you make sure that you glue this half, no matter what size you've created. I am using my tacky glue because I've used my Centura Pearl. You can see it, look. So I've used the back of it. So I need to use my tacky glue. So bringing that in and give that a good burnish down. Making sure I've got it nice and straight. So then I'm going to pop that to the side just for a minute, because what we're going to do with these beautiful frames is we're just going to create a lovely little shaker element.
Okay.
So deciding, in fact, if you bring your card in, decide which one you want on the bottom and which one you want on the top, because you are still going to see both, because you look at a card from all angles. So don't think if I pop that one at the bottom, I'm not going to see the colour you are. So deciding which you think looks better. Not that one. That one, look, sorry. Oh, I see decisions now.
That's it.
I think I like that. I think I'm going to go for that one. So.
Hear that funny noise now?
Oh, yeah.
What is that? It's like...
Yeah. I was just going to say, it's like someone's left a hoover.
Is that you? Sorry, it's just really...
In another room, yeah.
No, I hear that.
Is it outside?
I don't know.
Have a look through the window.
It's not broadcast critical, but it's just a...
It's, yeah.
Let's have a quick look. Keep it down out there, please. We're going to try and do some TV. Still light out there. So yeah, just noticed that. Can we turn the sun down, please? You should have gone down about 4 hours ago.
I'm sure it did. I went out with Tracy earlier and it was pitch black.
Like I think, isn't what day is it today? 20th? I think the 22nd is the shortest day, isn't it? Oh, the long... Shortest day, yeah. Shortest. Gets dark at about 3:30. And it gets darker quicker up here, doesn't it, as opposed to like down south? Johnny! Because it's grimmer, he just said. Even the day wants to finish, he just said. Yeah, even the day can't be bothered. Yeah. Up north, where the sun refuses to shine. Oh dear. Don't we laugh?
Poke it up.
Sorry.
Right. No, that's all right. I can hear it now. It's really, yeah.
Just a sec, Trish.
Sorry? I said
It stopped now. It stopped. Oh no, it started again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so just my normal tape pen to put the acetate on the back of here.
Yeah.
Either use your normal tape pen. Normally I would use my red liner tape, but for this purpose, my tape pen is absolutely adequate. I'm going to bring in my foam.
Yeah.
And we're just going to go around. So the reason that I use that, the outside decorative edge and the inside decorative edge, is it gives me that lovely thick border to be able to create a shaker element.
Yeah.
So we're just going to pop that round and trim it off. See, I miss singing that. I always sing it. If I'm on with Becky Swan, we sing our hearts out.
Does Becky sing it as well?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I feel like Fish might have killed that for me a little bit. The way that she sort of, you know, she belts it out with all her heart, bless her, but, you know. And it's in that VT, isn't it?
It is in that, the full song as well.
I think it was of its time, wasn't it, eh? It was of its time.
I loved it. I still love it. I sing it at home. I've even caught the husband humming along with it. The husband.
Is that what, the normal foam on a roll or the foam on a roll?
Yes, the normal foam. No, I don't sing to that one.
I don't.
Scares me, that one.
Oh gosh, why did I bring that up? Sorry. Sorry.
Right, so
Ooh,
foam
sequins.
on the back of that. We're just going to put some sequins right in the middle. And because I've got that frame on the back, it sort of does two things for me. It just doubles up the decorative element of the shaker, but what it also does is it gives me a lovely frame to be able to follow and see exactly where my sequins are going. So I know when I pop this on top, they are right in the middle and I don't need to worry about that at all.
And more the better, isn't it, when it comes to
Oh, definitely. You don't want to be tight with your shaker bits.
No.
It needs to be nice and full. So give that a good burnish down, a good press, because you don't want to lose any of your shaker elements. And then we're going to open that up. And this Forever Friends is going to be my stopper.
Oh, nice. That's from one of the, what are they called? The Swash Sentiment dies, isn't it? Which I think are also still available on the website if you check. We had the full collection of those very recently. Very popular. Oh, that was one of the cards you made. Was that last week we were on together? I really liked it. You created a shaker card out of the one which says party time.
Yes.
And snipped the party and the time in
Yeah, cut it up.
Yeah. Very versatile set of dies, those.
They really are. They're just, if all you want to do is use them as a sentiment, they're a gorgeous sentiment, but actually there's so much that you can do with these, definitely. It's very versatile little die set. So pop that there. I'm going to bring that back over. I've got a bow this time. Actually, do you know what? Debbie Fisher, I've noticed that she puts hers at the bottom, and I think it looks really nice, actually.
Where are you going to go?
I think, let me get rid of that.
There.
There. Oh, I think, see there, don't you think? Do you think, do we, top, middle or bottom?
Strike it lucky. Oh dear. Go to the top again. I quite like it on the top.
Should we go top? We'll go top.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, you do you. Don't copy Debbie Fisher, you know.
It just looks really nice. It's almost like whatever it is sat on the bow. Sort of like a shelf. So if I turn that round now. So just using that beautiful die set, look how full my shaker is. It's gorgeous.
That's it.
To create a lovely, simple shaker window on your card.
I love it. We'll go through everything that you're going to get as far as that collection is concerned. Anne Fleming says, listening to this, I'm glad that Ben doesn't do the weather forecast. I would be laughing all the way through it. And Sue Smith, first time live, Sue Smith, apparently. Lovely to have you with us. Says, a stand-up comic doesn't hold a candle to Ben and all of his wives. All of his wives? What? I don't get that. Stand-up comic don't hold a candle to Ben and all of his what? Lines, maybe. It says wives. I've only got one. Well, I've actually got one real wife, and then the other.
You've got two.
The two, which is the TV wifey. Ben, you are hilarious, says Angie. Thank you. Tell my family. Hello to Laura and family. And Marianne says solstice is actually on the evening of the 21st this year, so that will be tomorrow evening. Crafty Angie also says, hi Michelle, and my greetings to your Ben and family.
Oh, thank you.
And Linda says, my husband thought you were singing I'm on a Roll. And Phil Watson says, I've never heard the full Foam on a Roll song. When was it stopped? It hasn't been stopped. It goes like this, it goes, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll, foam on a roll. Hey, that's it, basically. Just did it once and then carried on singing it. Did write a full version of that song a while back with 3 verses and everything. Go back to my page, October last year, you'll be able to see it there.
Is that how long ago it was?
Yeah, October last year. And I played it on my ukulele in the car park. So random, so random. That'll be going on the album, which will be coming out next year. The CD, DVD, deluxe, collector's edition, limited edition. Oh, there was a question as well which came in. We'll do more questions in a minute from, who was it? I think it was Stacey Lou saying, how do I get the autographs of the presenters at Crafters? I suppose you could just message us on our pages and I guess we could send stuff out, couldn't we? We don't have like presenter photos as such, but you know what, I'm sure we could, if you wanted the autographs, I'm sure if you message whoever it is you want the autographs of, we could definitely sort something out for you. This is the full collection though of the everyday border nesting dies. If you want to go for the full set, as you've seen, they're incredibly versatile, so fun to work with. And of course, the more of these that you have, the more versatility you've got. You can go individually on these if you wish. However, the main value for money is to go for the full collection. So £48 or $56 for the full set. You have got the seasoned leaves, which again is all of those beautiful, intricate cuts from the die in the center, that beautiful frame die on the outside. And as you've seen, and as we've kind of explained, you've got so many different ways to be able to use them, creating one whole frame together with a thick edge. You can do a whole frame together with a thinner edge. You can do the 2 separate die cuts and piece them together. You can do just a beautiful frame matted piece and then piece your intricate middle die over the top. There's tons and tons of different ways to be able to use these, and of course the more that you've got, you might then combine, you know, the seasoned leaves with one of the rose ones that we've got in here, or the butterflies. That one is your entwined vines. You've got the beautiful swaddles there, which is the Regency swaddles. You're also going to get in this set your Amore, which is absolutely beautiful, which you've just seen. That's the one you want to go for if you want to recreate the last demo. This one I love is the Rose Garden. Again, colour, this one, paper piece, this one, really, really cute. I love the idea from Zoe earlier on of like making your own little cute playing cards with these. I think that's a great idea. And you've also got in there your kaleidoscope of butterflies. Really, really brilliant collection. Thank you to Susan who says, love the colours you chose, Michelle. Thank you for the techniques as always. That's what we're here for. And Jane Adams says, stunning. And also Kathy says, watching you guys and making Christmas die cut bags, using them for sweets for the ground crew in my apartment complex. Lovely, isn't it, this time of the year where you know you can use all of your skills to create beautiful cards and projects, just to thank people perhaps who've helped you out through the year. Now we're going to have a look at this. The Pro Sketch Pack, which has proved so super popular. Launched 4 weeks ago to the day, actually. And it's, I think, as popular now as it was when we launched it. So we brought this to Crafters TV. It had been out there on sale elsewhere. But then when we brought it to you on Crafters TV, we were like, come on, let's do like a fantastic deal for all of our customers. And we slashed the price down to half price. I initially thought that that would be like a launch price and then we'd pop the price back up again. We've held the price on this half price at $39.99 or $49.95. You've then got your discount on that as well. So if you're a platinum member within Club Inspire, $31.99 or $39.96. This is for everybody as well, and Sheena will explain all around this in just a second, but if you're interested in getting into sketching and drawing, this is for you. If you're someone perhaps who's been doing a little bit and you want to kind of further where you are, this is for you. Whether you're 7, whether you're 87, this is for you. And what you'll find out in this VT is all of the different uses for all of the different items that you've got in here. And the other thing that you absolutely need to listen to as she explains it is the value for money of this kit. With the way that Sheena explains this, items that she's bought that are not in this kit, but similar items, all of a sudden you'll begin to think to yourself, what an absolute steal this is. I know people who've multi-ordered these. I know of a lady who bought 8 of these. And if you're thinking, what is all the fuss about? You're going to find out right now. This is a video with Sheena of her having a good look through it, an unboxing of it, if you like, when we launched this 4 weeks ago. It's the most popular item currently on the website. So have a look, see what all the fuss is about. Here's Sheena giving you all the information.
It is phenomenal. So seriously, if there's somebody who's of school age, college anybody, and just this, they're going to want to use this, but you're going to want to use this as well. Shall I take you through what's in on the overhead? Right, let's look at it, and then I've got mine already set up. This is what you get, the first layer, right? So this is the first layer. We have a huge pencil like this. This is called a clutch pencil or a lead holder. Look at the size, look at that, that's lead, that's all lead. So that's for your sketching, for your shading. We'll be using that today. I'll be taking you through that. And to pop it back in, you just do that and it goes back. But you've also got in there, you have got, I'm just going to do, instead of like an order, I'm going to go around. You've got a mechanical pencil here, down here. You've got your regular mechanical pencil that you probably know about. Now, I've got to say, guys, with these two here, I've paid up to £10 for what my clutch holder. My pencil, £5 to £6 for an inexpensive one.
Right, okay.
The value is, I have everything that's in here, just saying, and I've paid a lot of money for everything that's in here. So they're the first two, but you also get refills for these guys. So you get a whole pack here. It's hard to get them out here. I'm going to do my best to get them out because I've already got them. Well, I'm just going to point, look there. You've got your lead for your mechanical pencil, for your fine one. I'm going to show you why these are all, why you need them all shortly, and why they, what everything does. And look at all those there. All of those there are refills for your clutch pencil or your lead holder, the big chunky one. So you've got refills. You've got a couple of erasers, and they do different things. This is the type that you're probably well familiar with, just a regular plastic eraser. Works a treat. Yeah. You've got this one here, which is a kneaded eraser, kneadable eraser. They call it a putty eraser, or a kneaded eraser, or a kneadable eraser. It's squidgy. It's like it's a bit like, you know, like stuff you put your Christmas cards up in. When we open this, you'll see, and you shape it and you use it any way you want, and it doesn't leave any little bits behind like that one. Okay. You can just lighten the background a little bit with it. Anyway, we're going to be using them shortly. Going through, you've got 3 coloured pencils here that are great for just either mixing, for colouring in, or for like when you're doing, if you're doing a little sketchy ideas, you can do them in different colours for represent different bits of your card making. So you might want to use the red as the foreground element if you're using your books and things to plan out your cards. Yeah. The blue might be a background, the next layer back, and the green might be further back, like just the flat bit of card. All of this will become apparent later. You've got 2, these are amazing. If you've ever used water-soluble graphite, you'll be excited already. There's 2 here. They look like pencil, they're exactly like pencil, but you don't have to even blend these ones, you just add a bit of water. There is a 2B and a 6B. Now this is where I get super excited. What's this one? Like seriously, a chalk pastel pencil. For all of your card making, your paper crafting, you want that. Yeah. And you also want, look, I'm not even going to take it out.
This is what people are going to get excited about as well, that pen.
There. Oh, if you haven't used this pen yet, just do it. I mean, seriously, that and this kit alone, can you see where the money's just mounting up? I know. It's just phenomenal. I didn't even mention, look, you've got your pencil, a really good metal pencil sharpener there for all of your pencils, your regular pencils. Moving down, you've got a water brush, a fabulous, and it's a really nice size water brush. Oh, cool. It holds a really good point. So if you want to add the water to your water soluble pencils, just portable, it's perfect for that, and that's going to go in this kit that you haven't even seen the bag yet. Yeah. You got 5 illustrators there, and they're the brush nib illustrators, which are my absolute go-tos, perfect, and they're shades of grey. So you've got 2 cool greys, you've got 2 warm greys, and you've got a black. You've got all of these outliners, and you've got outliners here that you can't get anywhere else. These 2 here, and there's a chisel nib as well. Oh, is there? A chisel nib outliner. There's 2 flex pens here, which you won't get. Well, if you look at that, we've almost got like the price in just that of the kit. Well, I was going to say, already all of that is miles over. Miles over. Then. You've got paper stumps to blend your graphite pencils with. That's the top layer. Then we move on. I think I've covered everything, haven't we? Yeah. Oh, look at the beauty of this. So in here, this is great. You have a case, and I've got mine all set up, which I'll show you properly shortly. But in there, everything fits perfectly. There's a place for everything in that case. Yeah. And there's also a place for the next thing, which are the books. Look at this. Right, now if you're wondering about the value of sketchbooks, let me pop that to one side. Let me show you what I've brought my sketchbooks here. Just let me take you through that. They're just 3 of my sketchbooks, right? That one I paid £11.50 for.
Yes.
That one was 15.
Right.
This one was £36. And guess what's in this one? Nothing, because I'm scared to use it.
Hang on, 36, 20...
36 quid for that.
26 and 11, did you say?
Yeah, yeah, for these 3. These ones have got bits in. I've been brave enough to do a few bits in these ones.
Wow.
But this one, not, because I'm scared to use it.
Yeah.
But look what you've got here. You've got 2 A4. They're totally different. Again, we're going to go through this in proper time and basically play. This one here is a mixed media book. So if you want to, for a crafter, you could use this book for your colour charts. You know when I say always make a colour chart? This would be it could be a card making Bible. You could have your aquas colour chart and you've got them all safe in the
I like that idea, it's good.
Then you can have your inks, you can have your duet ink pad colours in there and then swatch them so you can see all the colours. You've got your shimmer inks, so you can see how even that would work for a paper crafter. It's phenomenal, but it's not watercolour card. It won't take a completely soaking wash, but it's thick enough to use water products on there as well. So that's your mixed media pad there, and then we've got this beauty here. This if you separated this and gifted this on its own, it's sewn. It's a proper sewn with signatures. You know, they call the little bits and the little different things, the little signatures there. It's a sewn bound paper that is smooth, silky smooth, so all your dry media, your inks and everything are going to work perfectly on this. I'll show you how I've started to use mine, shall I? Shall I show you mine quickly before we start playing?
Not?
This one's mine.
That folder's brilliant as well, isn't it? My goodness me.
Fabulous.
You can even just split up if you're looking for gifts, split up, keep the pens, give the folder away, give the pads away, and whatever you want to do.
That's what it looks like when it's together, Ben. Look, everything's got its place. I've put my pencils, I've got all my pens here for drawing, and I've gone large to small to fine. We haven't even shown you how fine the lines are. We're doing all this when we're going to draw shortly. Not draw, scribble, plain over stamps and things. And everything's there. And then in here, you've got all your other bits, your paper stump, your pencil sharpener, your eraser, everything fits in there. And then in here, you have your books. I mean, the fact that you can carry everything. Can you see what I'm saying? You are going to be like, if you gift this to someone this Christmas, they're going to think you've been generous beyond compare.
Generous.
And this is how we're going to use them. So if you think, I'd like a lovely sketchbook, like my little sketchbook, but I can't draw. So you're thinking, well, yeah, all right then, Douglas, but how do I do if I'm not drawing? Doesn't matter, look. Would you know that this hasn't been just sketched?
Wow, yeah.
Would you? No, you wouldn't, would you? That is what we're going to show you how to do. So you could make yourself a little journal like this.
Brilliant.
It doesn't have to be just, sketches like that, but I think that looks rather pretty. If you want to gather this, and also imagine whatever you do in this book, you can then put on a card.
That's it.
So imagine sending a card that looks like this. It'll look like you've done a hand-drawn card. This one was stamps that you'll be familiar with. They're not even a stamp, that's a stencil. I'm going to show you how to choose them. Using the pens that are in the kit. If you want to maybe repurpose this one and think, well, how can I get value? Again, I haven't used it, but I've started playing in the back. You might want to make yourself a desk journal.
Yeah.
So this is a stencil. This is the space that we're going to do today. We're going to put a stamp on there and we're going to draw over that with the pen. And then we're going to use some just die cuts to cut out and put panels in here for notes or goals for that month. And it's going to be really pretty. And it's like, it could be a family kind of like what's happening at a glance, coffee table, pretty little book there. So can you see how it's not just if you're an artist for anybody and anyone in school, honestly, you're going to look like the best auntie ever.
Yeah, brilliant look around with Sheena there, and like, you know, the fact that she was so excited about that just, I think, has made a lot of people's minds up to jump in and grab it. If you are grabbing it today as well, do go back and watch that show. So it was 4 weeks ago today, whatever the date of that was. She did some unbelievable things with this kit and kind of sort of sets you off on the right track as far as using it's concerned. There is a really thorough instruction booklet there as well, so we teamed up with a great artist. So there's loads of instruction and ideas in there too. But as I say, do go back and watch that show and you'll pick up lots of hints and tips. And whilst, you know, you're not going to get this in time for Christmas now, it is a nice little gift to grab to get playing with in the new year. Maybe that is your sort of New Year's resolution, to try a new craft, to try something a little bit different. You could do far worse than that at $31.99 or $39.96. If your New Year's resolution is to maybe take your die cutting and embossing to the next level, then the Gemini 2 is a bit of a corker, isn't it, to go for as far as die cutting and embossing machines are concerned. This is the one that everyone's been talking about this year. This is the one that thousands of you have bought, whether it be here with us on HSN, QVC. It's been flying out of the door, still getting all of the power and the precision that you would expect from the Gemini machines. However, it's got all of those additional features, if you like. I'll not dwell too much on those because we're going to show you a video in just a second. But what I will dwell on is the price. This is the price that we launched in our outlet sale. Oh, when was this? Back in October, maybe around birthday time. And again, it was one of those things where we thought, you know what? Get it whilst you can at this price, because there's no way we're going to hold this price for any sort of length of time at all. Normally $229.99, $329.99. Loads of people happy to pay that price. We're saving 10% off that price. Plus, we're then giving you your discount. So if you're in Club Inspire and you're a Platinum member, $159.99 is that price, or $239.99. And if you are watching for the first time this evening, or maybe you've watched for a while and you haven't yet made a purchase, if you're buying this today, if you're thinking about grabbing it, do make sure that you jump in on the website, click that Club Inspire button and join the club. It's free to do. You need your email address, your name, and you create a password, and then you're in. And once you do that, you'll get 20% off your first order. So you will get that fantastic price on the G2. We're going to have a look at a little video to give you all the information about that. And then the other side of that, we're going to be over in Essentials Corner. So it is a very, very last chance to get those questions in, whatever you want to ask, whether it be about something on the show, whether it be about something about the Gemini 2, whether it be something that you're currently stuck on, let us know, and we'll answer those questions. Plus, we'll do the vote for the demo of the show and the demo of the day. We'll see you in Essentials Corner in about a minute and a half whilst you hear more about the Gemini 2.
Introducing the Gemini 2. Our brand new electronic die cutting and embossing machine has all the power and precision of the original Gemini, but with updated functions and innovative new features. Faster and quieter than ever before, the Gemini 2 does all the hard work for you. Cut out the most intricate designs in seconds, and all at the touch of a button. Technology to apply higher pressure than many other machines offers perfectly crisp and clear results every time. The Gemini 2 has the power to take creative projects of all shapes and sizes in its stride. It will cut through a range of materials, from card and paper to cork, thin metal, leather, and multiple layers of fabric. So you can save time on your papercraft, sewing, and multimedia projects. A new and improved optical sensor runs the full length of its 9-inch platform, offering edge-to-edge precision with cutting plates of any size. Pause, rewind, and resume functions take the guesswork out of crafting. Smooth gliding feet make light work of moving and maneuvering your Gemini 2. And a turntable offers 360 degrees of crafting freedom. Neat storage compartments hold craft tools so they're always at your fingertips right when you need them. A built-in media stand and 3 USB charging points invite you to craft along with your favourite tutorials and workshops on your tablet or phone. Easy to use and with everything you need to get started right out of the box, the Gemini 2 is for beginners and experienced makers alike. From scrapbooking and home decor to handmade cards, quilting and everything in between, bring your creativity to life with the Gemini 2.
There you go. Love the voiceover on that one as well. Obviously a very, very professional voiceover guy. That's me, that is also available for all of your voiceover needs. How much? Moving on. We are over in Essentials Corner, so thank you. I can see already a few questions coming through, which is marvellous. It sounded very British there. Marvellous, questions are marvellous, madam. Any more you want to fire through, please do, and we'll try and get through as many as we can. Before we get to that, we have the first of the 2 votes to line up for you. So let's get Michelle to show you her makes from this show and do the vote for the demo of the show. So what you got for us, Michelle?
Right, so number 1 was this beautiful embossing folder, the ones with the dies, but we used it without the die on this one. So that is number 1. Number 2, have I got it the right way? Number 2 was the vintage rose. I wanted to call it vintage gold, rose and all sorts then.
Call it what you want.
But the vintage rose,
Yeah.
That's number 2. And then number 3 is those everyday border dies, or decorative border dies to create that lovely shaker elements. That's number 3.
So 1, 2 or 3. You've got, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes or so to get your vote in. So if you do that, we will answer your questions. Keep them coming in. We've got a few to get through actually. So let's start with Kendall Serafian. I love the way you're getting the shells like that. Okay.
I'd roll my sleeves up, but I ain't got none.
Hey?
So I'll just get comfy instead.
No, the noise is gone now actually.
Yeah.
Someone suggested it might have been Santa Claus.
Maybe.
Maybe it was. He's a little bit early if it is. You're 5 days early, mate. Right, Kendall Serafian. I have a question for Michelle. How do you do the stained glass window for a card?
Right, so you're going to be using your acetate
Okay.
and you're going to be using your alcohol pens. So if you've got your classics or your tri-blends, anything like that, you're going to be wanting to colour onto your acetate with that. So if you're wanting to stamp onto it, you're going to need your heat-resistant acetate, because what you're going to do is you're going to use one of your opaque ink pads. You're going to stamp onto your heat-resistant acetate, and then because it's that opaque, because it's sticky, you're going to add your embossing powder, and because it's heat-resistant, you can then use your heat tool to set it, and then you can colour your, your different areas of the stamp. But if it's something like one of those outline floral dies that we did earlier, where you can die cut it, you don't need to use your heat resistance, so you just use your normal acetate, put that outline floral die cut on the front of your acetate, and then again you can colour either inside or behind with your alcohol pen. So again, any of your tri-blends, your classics, your illustrators, anything like that.
Is that something you've done recently then, the stained glass window?
I haven't done that recently. I haven't done it for ages. Maybe I'm going to have to do that.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it for ages.
We did have as well, I don't know if they're still in stock, but if you search for it on the website, it will come up. We had some really lovely stained glass window dies, didn't we, a while back? Do you remember that? And we had the like the apertures to go with them, the aperture cards.
Yeah, definitely. So you can, use those, absolutely, but die cut them out and put them onto your acetate, and then obviously you can colour with, but it has to be your alcohol pens. You can't use your pencils, they're not going to work, and obviously your watercolours aren't going to work either. It's your alcohol pens that are going to work absolutely brilliantly.
All right, question from Jane Adams on Facebook, who says, what is the best type of pen, alcohol or watercolour, to use on glossy paper? And she sort of further qualifies that by saying like the paper that you would print photos on. So if she wanted to add colour to something like that, what would be the best type of pen?
That would be your alcohol pen. Your watercolours, your aquas just wouldn't go on there. They wouldn't, they'd go on, they'd just sit on top. They would never dry. So definitely your alcohol pens. It's very much like the acetate. They are going to colour on that. So yeah, any of your alcohol pens that you've got are going to work for that glossy paper.
So if it was like a watercolour, would it just smudge off with it?
It would just sit on top because it's got that coating. It's almost like a plastic coating, for want of a better word. So your water's just going to sit there. It's not going to go. It's never going to soak through it at all. It's going to have to be, your alcohol pens.
Oh, we can, just whilst we get ready for the next question, reveal the demo of the show.
Oh.
What do you reckon it is?
Number 2?
No.
Number 1?
No.
Number 3?
Yes.
All of them.
There you go. That was a rather
thank you.
marvellous make, that actually.
Yeah.
Should we get the vote go for demo of the day?
Yes, absolutely. So we'll go from the one that I've just done. So number 1 is the one that I've just done in the show. There we go, look. with that everyday border nesting die. So that's number 1. Number 2, I did this in Wake Up Call, so I know we're going odd, but that's number 2. Trying to catch the light with that.
Seems like yesterday. There we go.
There you go, look at that.
That was with just gilding wax, wasn't it? On the
Yeah,
top?
yeah, just I used the Renaissance Gold gilding wax. And then number 3, the one that we did this afternoon, let me again catch that light so you can see those shimmer ink pads. No, they weren't shimmer ink pads, sorry, they're your watercolour palettes.
We've done them slightly out of order, but you know what?
Number 3.
We like to mix it up a bit.
Of course, it's out of order, it's me.
3, 2, 1. You got about 4 minutes? Right, question. Sorry, I'm not. If you're thinking, oh, what's he doing on his phone now? Is he? My tablet's throwing a bit of a hissy fit. I'm not reading texts and stuff. I'm reading the questions off my phone. Can you imagine? Next question. Sue Benson says, glitter pastes.
Yeah.
Do I use my watercolour paper for the glitter paste? So, I mean, is that the only paper that you would use, or can you use other cards for the glitter paste?
No, so our glitter pastes are brilliant. They don't have a high water content. So some glitter pastes that you can get have got a high water content, which means it's going to warp your card very easily. Ours don't. Ours are full of all the good stuff. Obviously, it's water-based, but we've got lots more of that colour and, you know, the glitter and the shimmer in there. So yes, use it on your watercolour card. That is definitely the best cardstock to use it. But if you are, again, very careful, if you're not heavy-handed, you can do it onto your black card and your white card and your craft card if you want. It is definitely going to go on there. You're just going to be more mindful that you're not saturating your stencil with lots of that glitter paste.
Okay, and then the next question is sort of, well, I suppose it's not really, it is a follow-on, but Pat, she says she's getting confused on what pens and paint to use on certain papers. So, I mean, let's go through that. Okay, so if you talk about so that Nina card first of all.
Yeah.
So what do we use the Nina card for?
Right, so your Nina card is your colouring card. So if you want to colour with your pens, your alcohol pens and your pencils, you are going to use your Nina because it's ultra smooth, which means it's not soaking up lots of your ink. So your Nina is for your alcohol pens and any of your colouring pencils.
Yeah.
And then we've got the watercolour card,
Yes.
which is very much what it says on the tin. It's any of your aqua pens, if you're wanting to use any of your inks to create sort of that watercolour in. So your watercolour card and your water-based pens, you know, i.e. your aquas. You can use both of those on your normal white card and your black card and your craft card. It's going to soak up more of your alcohol because it's a rougher texture. So if you're going for your ideals and you don't want to get confused, your Nina, because it's ultra smooth, is for your alcohol pens, and your watercolour card is for your aqua pens.
Would you just delve into this further? Would you know then? So say for example, you had like a load of your white cardstock just out of the side and you didn't know what was what. Would it be instantly recognisable? Say if you picked up a piece of Nina cardstock and then you started doing like you were doing some watercolouring. Would you know? Would it be easy to know straight away that you picked the wrong one up?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Your Nina cardstock is ultra smooth and it's not as a heavy weight. Your watercolour card is it's mottled because it's cold pressed. I don't mean to get too technical.
Oh, look at all this. This is what we're here for. I love it. It's cold pressed.
It's cold
I've never
pressed.
heard that before. Have you heard that before? I've never heard that.
So when you're creating watercolour card, you can cold press, you can hand make it, so sort of hand press, and you can heat press, hot press. Hot press, as you would imagine, it's going to make it ultra smooth because what it does is it steams it and it flattens it and it makes it ultra smooth. That is like your ridiculously stupid, high-end, expensive, you know, specialist paper or card. What you're going to find more often than not is your watercolour card is all cold pressed.
Yeah.
And by it being cold pressed, it retains that texture. And it's that texture that allows you to watercolour on it because it's made from like either cotton fibres or, you know, your tree bark pulp, kind of things like that. So when you think of it in that way, you know that you're not going to get a smooth card. So as soon as you pick them up, thanks, Johnny.
No, this is like mastermind, isn't it? Like from one easy question about the concept, we go into like how it's all made, how it's pressed. No, honestly, incredible. Producer Johnny can't believe it.
I think sometimes when just a little bit of knowing how it's made, it helps you think, oh, right, so that's how and why it works like it does. So your watercolour card, 9.9 times out of 10, it's got that texture. So it's going to soak up your water, which means it's not going to warp or anything like that. Your Nina cardstock is ultra smooth. And as soon as you pick both up, one's textured, one's not. Even if you pick up our white cardstock and the Nina cardstock, even though they're both white and even though they're both smooth, one's going to feel heavier and less smooth. So even closing your eyes, you can tell between our Nina and our normal white cardstock, which is which, definitely.
I feel tired after all that. Brilliant though, wasn't it? Brilliant knowledge. A couple of questions, and we've got the result for the demo of the day. Jane, one more question, Jane Adams, as many as you want. I have a friend that purchased a Gemini Midi. She's got a 3D embossing folder. She says it's too thick. What is the thickest folder that you can use in the MIDI? When you can, 3D embossing folders just go straight through without the shim, don't they?
Yes, you should just be able to put your 3D embossing folder through. It doesn't go in that folder, it just goes through on its own, because you will also get like a purple shim. You don't need that with a 3D embossing folder either. So it should just go straight through.
Yeah.
So if she's adding any of those others in, then she needs to not.
Yeah, but if it's another brand 3D embossing folder, potentially that could be
Potentially, yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Ours obviously are made for our machine, so it's going to go straight through. If it is another make, that might be the only reason that it's not going through.
Yeah, and yeah, let us know how you get on with that, and obviously never like force it through. I know, like with the electronic machines, they never let you kind of have something through which shouldn't go through. But with the manual machines, I suppose there might be a tendency to try and crank it too hard.
Try and sort of crank it through, and yeah, definitely don't force it. Definitely not. Yeah, don't force it.
And I think one final question for now, one of my favourites of the day, from Teresa. Oh no, there's two more. Oh, let me ask you this one first then, from Jeanette Shirley. Says, which markers are alcohol and which ones are water-based? Good question again, I like this. So when you talk about the Spectrum Noir range, which alcohol, which are water-based? The easiest way to tell is if it's water-based, it's going to say aqua on it. Yeah. So you know if it says aqua, and again, they're all different colours, it's going to be water-based. Yeah. So it will say aqua. Even if it's our tricolours, it will say tricolour aqua or tri-aqua or just aqua. If it doesn't say that, you can guarantee that it is your alcohol-based. And final question from Teresa, who says, question for Michelle. Why doesn't she colour her hair anymore? Can you see my roots? Oh, I don't know if it was a question like that. For goodness sake, Michelle, start colouring your hair. Oh yeah, because I remember back in the day you had all like. I had it red. It was red for a bit, wasn't it? Yeah, the red was just the upkeep is as soon as you wash, as soon as you get in the shower, it looks like a scene from Psycho. And it washes out and then it goes this like pale salmon colour. Yeah. And I'm just too pale for that. So that's why I don't go red anymore. So I've got the brown, I've got a little bit of blonde running through it. But is that normal hair colour then? Ish. Pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. I do need my roots doing. I have noticed in my fringe there's like some shiny bits that looks a bit like a white grey coming through. So I'm a little horrified. Pull those ones out. Mine on the side. I just call them my go faster stripes on the side. I quite like it. I'm sort of like, you know, just living with the greys. I'm just going to gradually I'm not going to, because some people always dye your hair. Nah, I'm just going to go grey gracefully. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go grey disgracefully. And one quick final question, because I know we're running out of time here, and then we'll do the result of the demo of the day. Christine Baker, is there a right or wrong side of playing cardstock? No. No. No, either or. Okay. Demo of the day. Do you remember what order you did them in? 1, 2 and 3. It's the smooshy one, number 3. Number 3. It was a good one, that, wasn't it? Yeah. Thank you very much. Oh, look at that. Yes. I think that was a deserved winner, that. Look at that one. That will go in for the demo of the, well, on Friday with Michelle and me, it will be demo of the show for whatever the demo of the show is, demo of the day, demo of the week, and demo of the month on Friday, so we've got a busy old show.
Yeah.
Also looking forward to Friday when we're doing our party game show. Friday, make sure you're here for that one, 6 o'clock UK time, so 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. We've got our kind of Christmas party show where we've got games. Johnny knows that I don't know about the games.
No.
So
no
we've
idea.
got games we're going to play against each other. And then a little bit of a craft off at the end as well, so that's going to be amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah. Thanks for a fab day.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it.
Oh, good job, because you're doing it all over again with me tomorrow. Another Craft Your Stash tomorrow, and we've got a ink pad Craft Your Stash and a fantastic cartload coming your way as well. Massive thank you to Michelle, thank you to the whole team, thank you to Johnny and James and Nicola, and also Tracy, and also Superstar Susie, and the rest of our fantastic social superstar team. We'll see you tomorrow for more of the same. Until then, bye for now.